It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, coming up next. Haven't Seen It, with Tim Sestito and Tommy Tevene. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Thank you all so much for listening today. This is a podcast where one of us is watching a movie for the very first time, and today that is definitely myself. And Tommy was showing me his action figure of Leatherface and his coasters of Leatherface, so he's a fan of this movie, would you say?
Yeah, definitely seen it a lot, I can say.
And another fan of this film joining us today is Cody Tucker. You can find him at the Cody Tucker Show. You can find it wherever you can get your podcasts, right? Apple, Spotify, wherever you can get your shows. Also on Instagram. You've probably seen him on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you get your social media feed, because he's popping up all over the place. Cody Tucker joining us on the show here. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Absolutely, man. Been looking forward to it.
We had Cody on for the original Halloween a couple of years ago. And now we're doing the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, Cody, would you say you're like a horror aficionado? Is that like your favorite genre of film?
Without a doubt. Yeah. Horror has always been my go-to. Horror, suspense, thriller, like anything in that that realm. Not a big like action comedy guy, really. I mean, some stuff, but yeah, horror for sure.
Yeah, and it's always fun having people on who are in that realm for me, because I am the opposite of that completely. But
like fuck all this.
doing the show. No, definitely not with this movie. I loved this movie. Actually, I was saying to you guys before, there was a moment where I just sat up in my seat and was just like locked in completely for the rest of this movie. And my relationship with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was seeing the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre when I was 10 years old, and being very scared of it and being like, I don't ever want to watch another one of these movies ever again. And maybe it was because it was bad.
It holds up, actually. I mean, it's a fun time. It's nowhere compared to the original, but like if you want to get like drunk with friends, there's worse movies you can watch. It's fun.
Without a doubt. Yeah, and Jessica Biel,
exactly.
That's I mean,
she's at her prime. She's in her prime.
Oh, dude, without a doubt. And like, it's not the greatest movie, but for remake, I'll take it. And Michael Bay produced it, which automatically is going to knock it down a few points. So
knock it up. I have a different scale completely for bad movies, which leads us into our conversation about movies you saw recently. And I saw a movie recently in movie theaters, opening night. I saw Joker, Folie à Deux in theaters. And my history with Joker, I didn't care for the original Joker. I was like, it was fine. A little Taxi Driver, King of Comedy homage. Little Scorsese riff. Sure. This one, when I heard it was bad, I got way more interested in it. So it opens with a Looney Tunes cartoon. And when I say that was the best part of the movie, that was unquestionably the best part of the movie. The first 2 minutes. And then it just kind of recaps what happens in the first one, and then it has like the worst music in a musical. And I enjoy musicals. I'm a little fruity like that, but the music sucked, and they were just covering songs poorly. It's a weird movie where I felt like they were forced to make this sequel and didn't want to do it, but it felt like they were contractually obligated. So they were like, how do we get out of making the third one? And they made this. That was my take. Did either of you guys see it?
I had zero interest in seeing it. I like the first one enough, but it's just a fucking taxi driver. I liked it enough, and then I had zero interest in this until I saw how angry people were about it.
Same. I was like, when I read a review saying like people just started walking out of the movie theater, I was like, all right, like, is it that bad? And it's not. Well, unfortunately, it's just kind of boring.
Well, there's also people that like have a aversion to musicals. Like the second someone sings, like, get this the fuck out of my screen.
I'm
So
one of those people.
yeah. So I
Hate
feel
'em.
like that immediately just like takes people out the door. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet because I heard it was so shitty, but now it's becoming almost Cats level, but I don't think it's as fun as Cats.
No, Cats was one of the most fun movie going experiences you and I
Yeah.
have ever
Cats
had.
Cats is amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, that was the
Incredible.
greatest thing to ever happen to cinema.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
that.
Totally.
That's beyond art. It's like it's
It's just
elevated into its own level.
if you can see Cats in a packed theater, fucking see it. It's gonna be hilarious.
God. I know. Yeah, that's man. Yeah, I'm gonna go see it just to see it, probably. But yeah, it felt that way very much. Like from what I heard, that it was just like Todd Phillips trying to get the hell out of this thing, and
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what
which
any good director seems to do is like they make a superhero movie and then they're just like, "Ah, crap, now I'm contractually obligated." Like the Dark Knight trilogy is like that. You just feel more and more like first two are amazing, third one fine, but like each one it's like, oh, I want less and less Batman in my Batman movie. And it's like, oh,
yeah,
that's an interesting take, Christopher Nolan, in your Batman superhero movies.
yeah. I actually don't think the second one is that good. I know that that's like sacrilegious to say. It's only good because of the Joker. Like
The
whenever I
Dark Knight?
re
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, whenever I
Yeah.
rewatch it, I skip everything that isn't Heath Ledger. So I turn it into like a 30-minute movie. Like it's dumb. Like the writing is so stupid. The
Mm.
dialogue is like from like the 40s. Like they say like weird stuff where you're just like, who talks like this?
No more dead
And
cops, shit like that.
yeah, well, and then like even like the Joker has lines in it that are dumb. Like he's like, "Oh, I'll feed you to your pooches." Like talking about like the dog. Like who has referred to a dog as a pooch
Yeah.
in 70 years?
I
Yeah,
just like that he made Heat into a superhero movie. That's what I really can appreciate
Oh,
about it
yeah.
now. Like I saw it
yeah.
again last year in theaters, and I still got chills at the end. My it's one of my favorite like original screenings I've ever seen. Like when I was like 15,
Yeah.
and like I had to wait three
Yeah.
weeks to see this movie because it was sold out everywhere, and I was like,
Well,
this.
for
Yeah.
us too, like I was in like eighth grade when this movie came out, so like the
Mm.
fucking best movie for me ever to see when you're eighth grade. So there's like a certain nostalgia for me where I'm like, fuck, like that movie still hits. I watched it again last year, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the whole Two-Face thing, while a little rushed, is still fun. Aaron Eckhart, the only good movie he's been in, I feel like.
Yeah. Thank You for Smoking is really good.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't take off the way I feel like he could have off of that performance in that big of a movie though, because he's so good in that movie, and
Mm.
he's just outshined by Heath Ledger.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, he really didn't do anything. Well, he did that Battle Los Angeles, which is one of the worst movies ever made.
Yeah.
And I think that just kind of like soured him for
Then he
people.
was the president in the Olympus Has Fallen. He basically just became like a guy in like
Oh,
B movies.
that's right.
But
Yeah,
like
yeah. He
Yeah.
turned into Bill Pullman.
Yeah,
big
essentially, yeah.
budget B
Like
movies, which is
he's like the
not
Bill
where you want to
Paxton
be.
of the 2010s.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's poor bastard.
Yeah, he
Man.
deserved better than that. But Cody, any movies that you've seen recently that you may or may not recommend to our audience?
Uh so not really any I mean I've seen some like newer movies. I've been just like binging horror movies
Mm.
that time of year. The last like recent movie that I saw was Trap, the M. Night Shyamalan movie with Josh Hartnett.
Yeah,
Might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, you
It
hated
is
it. Okay.
so bad. Have y'all watched it?
yeah, I
Yeah.
watched it. I didn't love it.
I liked it. I thought I was really high too, which probably helped.
Wow. Yeah.
But it got me in the zone. I
Yeah.
was
Well,
just keyed in.
it's like the first half, maybe even less than half, is amazing. Like the whole build up and everything.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I wish that you didn't know that he was the serial
Oh,
killer.
mhm.
Like I hate that that was spoiled like in the trailer.
Yeah.
But then like once it starts getting in, it basically was just a showcase for M. Night Shyamalan's daughter because she's the singer, she's the
Yeah.
yeah, and like that whole plot line with with the singer, like in leaving the venue and all that stuff. It just got so stupid to me. And then there's, they're like building up like there's going to be this huge twist. And the twist is that his wife knew about it, which was like, I mean, that's not really anything that
kind of figured. Yeah.
You would hope the wife would know your husband's a serial killer. You'd hope she might piece together being like, why were you out at 2 a.m? I was tracking your location on my iPhone.
Yeah. Yeah. Why do you smell like bleach every night? Yeah.
Just a clean guy.
Products. Yeah. It was a movie that like a few months later, I saw it back in August. Like the second half just falls flat in a way. I feel like once it leaves the concert venue, that's when I lose interest for it. Where it's like,
the movie being called Trap should be mostly about the trap.
Yeah.
Like he escapes the trap real early. Or it feels really early, at least. Like it's
like a 90-minute movie, and then like halfway through, we're out of the venue, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is gonna be a real short movie, huh?" And then it just kept going, and there were so many like more escapes for him, and I was like,
that being said, Josh Hartnett is amazing in it. Like he is. I'm so glad that he's been making this like big comeback. Because I always thought he was so fascinating as a kid, like as an actor. Watching like The Faculty, which is like one of my favorite movies. Like, and Halloween H2O. Like, I loved watching Josh Hartnett in movies, and then he just kind of disappeared. And now he's been making this comeback. I mean, it started with like 30 Days a Night, which is another great movie.
Yeah, really fun.
Then Oppenheimer brought him back into the conscious.
Yes, Oppenheimer, and then he was in like a Guy Ritchie movie a little bit before that. That was like the first time I was like, oh shit, Josh Hartnett is back in movies again. Like that. Yeah.
Because he went away into like TV and like random TV shows like you didn't really hear of.
He was on Penny Dreadful, I think.
That was the only one I've heard of. But like other than that, it was just like, okay. And he was always a fun presence in the 90s. Like The Faculty rocks. I saw a screen of that recently. It still rips. And then he was one of the guys like Black Hawk Down, and it's just why didn't we have him? And I hope that he now has like a career of like in these like kind of B movies, just like Trap, just over and over again, or he becomes an action star.
Yeah. Well, he was in Pearl Harbor, which was a horrible movie too.
Yeah, fuck that movie.
Another Michael Bay classic.
Yeah, Jesus.
That guy's ability to make bad movies and then just have them make $1 billion is remarkable.
It is astounding. Like, I mean, he's like the human version of cocaine.
Exactly. If you find the right project, it's amazing. But most of the time, it's like, why is Michael Bay directing this?
Yes, like I enjoyed the first Bad Boys. I think it's pretty good, like a good little action movie, and not even a big fan of them.
We covered it. I hated that movie so much.
Really?
Timmy was like, "This is awful." That's what Timmy said.
I had a bad day at work, and then I watched it, and
I mean, to be honest, if I watched it for the first time now, I probably wouldn't like it. I just like it because it was like a movie I watched a lot as a kid. Like it was like a movie my dad always watched. Like, it was always on TV. So. I kind of have like a
classic.
Yes, exactly. Or like when Spike TV used to be called TNN.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's a throwback.
Yeah, dude. Bad Boys. It was like Bad Boys and Goodfellas nonstop.
One of those movies is different than the other.
Well, one has Will Smith and the other doesn't.
Exactly.
Very true. That's definitely what I was referencing.
Yeah. And also I watched Long Legs, which I don't know if y'all have ever.
I heard
that. Really fun.
Long Legs was great.
Incredibly scary. I mean, that movie that kept me up at night. And Nick Cage, I mean, it's a way that like Nick Cage, you can release him like a wild animal and just see what happens. And this way is a way where like they utilize his like manic energy in the best way possible.
Yes, and kind of hide it at the same time. Like it's like every once in a while he'll say something where you're like, oh, there's Nicolas Cage. But for the most part, he is doing a very good job at like covering up the fact that he is Nicolas Cage, which he does not do ever.
Yeah.
So I loved it. I thought it was so creepy. Like, he was fucking terrifying. Yeah, I thought that was a really good, like, original kind of movie. And there hasn't been a movie with like an iconic villain, in a while. Like a Hannibal Lecter, like, that kind of thing. I think Long Legs is like the closest thing to that in a
Because
while.
like the closest we've gotten to a villain is like the Terrifier clown guy who like he's fun and all, but like
Yeah.
he's just another like slasher. It's not like as insane as Nick Cage is.
Right. Yeah.
So
And
Tommy, what about you? What
uh
movies have you watched recently?
so I've been watching a crap ton of horror movies for horror season, like trying to watch one a day. Currently I will mention I Know What You Did Last Summer, which won a movie night with friends. And this is a movie that I watched it like a year or two ago, and like I rewatched it. I was like, this movie sucks. Like, what the hell? And then I watched it drunk with friends. I love this movie. This movie rocks. It's amazing. Sarah Michelle Gellar just gives off a great performance. I love Brian Felipe just being the world's biggest douchebag. Have either of you guys seen it?
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that.
Yeah.
That's not even just like a Halloween. I'll watch that movie anytime.
Yeah.
And it's just like such an easy movie to have on in the background.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. That's why I was great with friends, because then we're just like laughing at just Jennifer Love Hewitt where she just screams out like, "What do you want from us? What do you want from us?"
Dude,
So-
and Anne Heche being terrifying, like
Yeah.
just for no reason.
Just so Timmy, have you seen it?
I said off the top, I just do not watch horror. I'm trying to get more into it. This
Yeah.
is good because I'm trying to build a list with my girlfriend
Yeah.
for horror movies that we can watch
Mm.
during spooky season, and this is one that I feel
You
like
have to
could
be
be
Timmy
added to the
approved.
list.
They can't be too scary.
No,
That's-
they can be pretty. This was terrifying. Texas
Yeah.
Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Fair,
I Know What You Did Last Summer is a great like date night movie.
Yeah.
Like at home, like date night movie. It's not like too intense, but everybody in the movie's hot. That always kind of
Yeah.
helps. I mean, Freddie Prinze Jr. really just batting 1,000 the whole time. Like it's
Sounds-
like that group of people were in like, quite a few movies together. And
It was
I
like-
just kind of miss that group.
It was just a fun 90s era, like of Jennifer Love Hewitt, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Felipe, and Freddie Prinze Jr. And then
Johnny
John
Galecki.
Yeah, he plays like a tough guy douchebag, and it's like, you're Leonard from Big Bang Theory. What the hell is this?
Do you see? Always think of him as Rusty from Christmas Vacation.
Oh
Rusty,
yeah.
Christmas
Yeah.
Vacation, and he was on Roseanne too.
Yes, yeah. Damn, I forgot about him being on Roseanne.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Tim, it's like in the vein of like Scream, written by the same guy, so it's like very fun, like 90s teen comedy that just like has a horror element to it.
All
So-
right, I think I can mess with that.
It's
that's
not
going on the
scary.
list.
Yeah.
There's one pretty good jump scare with Anne Heche.
Oh
Other
yeah.
than that, that's about it. I mean, the rest of it's just very like kind of copy and paste, slasher movie. But it's fun. Like it's it's not. They're not trying to make The Shining.
Yeah,
Like they're-
exactly. They know what they're
they-
doing here.
Exactly. Yeah, which I love it. I mean, I'll.
Oh,
stick
yeah, I'm
with a
all
movie
for
like
it.
that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's definitely elevated with watching with friends.
Yes.
Also, I appreciate when a movie knows exactly what it is and doesn't try to do anything more than what the script is.
Exactly.
It's just like we're gonna have a fun
Mm.
time here. We're gonna sit
Yeah.
back and film here.
Yeah.
Which
The
is
sequel's
different.
good too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, so I know Jack Black plays Rastafarian.
He does. Yeah, and it's amazing.
Sounds incredible every time I
Yeah.
hear it. So
So, but a movie that did not have fun time on the production set is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
What happened was true. The most bizarre and brutal series of crimes in America. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Even if one of them survives, what will be left? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. After you stop screaming, you'll start talking about it. Rated R.
So, as I quoted off the top, this is a movie about family, which I was not really expecting, to be honest. Obviously, quoted from the late great Carrie Fisher talking about Star Wars: The Last Jedi, which definitely was like a family in there for sure. But this movie is one of those movies I've heard about, and I always push off horror movies. I'm like, oh, I want to watch that, and then I see like Speed, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch Speed again instead. And I'm glad that you guys Tommy forced me to watch this because
I've been trying to do it for like 2 years now in the pod.
Damn.
this is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. It's so freaky.
Yeah. Just great set design, and like you can feel. We were talking about this earlier, like before we started recording, how like you can just feel just like the menace on the screen of like the crew just losing their goddamn minds.
God, and I mean, just the heat. Like, there's something about if you grew up in Texas, which I did, like the how hot. Like everybody has been in a house like that. Maybe with less dead bodies, but like been in a
hopefully
house.
less
Well, yeah. But like everybody's like grandparents almost. It seemed like had a house like that was just in the middle of fucking nowhere and was just 120 degrees all the time, and it smelled like old people. Like, it takes me back every time I watch that movie where I can like smell the like dust. Which I don't know if dust has a smell, but it certainly seems like
there's
it does.
Like the weird like old people smell that like
yes,
taste, not a taste but smells just like awful and like mildewy,
like a thrift store.
There's just a musk. There's just a musk.
Just a musk. That's what
the
it
is.
Yes,
whatever kind of furniture that was going around in the 60s and 70s just had this musk to it. Because when that generation bought furniture, they just did not replace it. They were like, "This is the couch. This is the couch I will.
I'm keeping this.
I'm keeping this.
Yes.
You want me to spend $600 to replace my 40-year-old couch? You out of your mind?
No, of course not.
Dude, yeah.
So, Cody, as someone from Texas, how accurate is this to Texas life? This movie?
Well, I mean,
granted.
Well, I mean, that's a kind of a part of it too. But I mean, so obviously, like, I mean, the movie takes place in 1973, which is a little bit different than how I grew up. But I did grow up in like a pretty rural area, and there's definitely some parts that you can get out in where you feel like you are back in time in 1973, and the people are real sketchy, and they all kind of have that Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe. Like it's almost like a cliche to be like, to say that like a place reminds you of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, Jesus, this Texas Chainsaw Massacre ass city. Like, that's kind of a thing. Like there's a few around where I grew up where it's like, yeah, that place is very similar.
Well, it's also like the thing of like in the Northeast, sometimes like there's like where my grandma would live, like was in like some town in the middle of nowhere where like you go to the gas station, people start staring at you, and you're like, all right.
Yep.
Can get in my car soon.
Yes, that is exactly the feeling. Like they can smell it on you that you are you're not one of the 80 people that live in that city.
In that town, it has a gas station and like maybe a grocery store and a bar, obviously.
Like a restaurant.
Always a bar.
Yeah.
Oh, there's always, so in those cities, like around, especially like in East Texas, which obviously the movie's supposed to be taking place like in South, or they say South Texas, but it's Austin, which isn't really South Texas, but whatever. And but like East Texas is kind of the same way where like you can go through cities where the only structure in that city is a gas station that looks exactly like that gas station. It's like it is from a goddamn time machine. It is so strange. Like especially like going out to like where some of the lakes are around here. So like you go out there for a weekend, you got to stop at the gas station. Like it's like even the food and like sodas and shit are in like the sodas are in like glass bottles. You're like, how are you having?
It's just like ancient as hell.
How are you getting Mexican Coke here?
It's like discontinued items. Like I don't.
It'll be like Jolt Cola and shit like that from the which I'm actually not joking. There's a city called Jefferson, Texas. It's like one of the most haunted cities in Texas.
Yeah,
and there's a gas station that sold like basically nothing but Jolt Cola, even whenever I was a kid. I mean, just
stuck in time.
Yes, it's like Jolt Cola and catfish bait. It's about the only thing there. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is pretty similar to like rural Texas for sure. Like even today.
So for you guys, when was the first time you ever watched this movie, and what impact? Because for me at 31, I watch enough movies where I sit there and go, okay, 2.5 out of 5, and I move on, and then I forget about it 2 weeks later.
You're like, wait, we covered on the podcast.
we've had that conversation. But I sat there like the last 40 minutes, I was just sitting up in my chair the whole time, like completely glued in. What for you guys, like if you, because it seems like you guys watch this definitely at a younger age, like where movies leave a bigger impact. What kind of impact did this movie leave on you? Like what you remember the first time after you watched it?
For me, I basically there's a video store I used to go to when I would visit one of my other grandmas. And like we had nothing to do except for go to the video store. So in like ninth grade, when I started getting into horror, because I saw Shaun the Dead like 3 years before, I rented that movie because they're like, oh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is supposed to be a great movie. So I watched it in ninth grade by myself in my grandma's basement, fucking all lights out. And like, it's the best kind of basement where like no light can get in. So for me, it's like, oh, I can play video games or I can just like watch movies all day. And when you're watching horror movies in that environment, you're just terrified. So you're watching Texas Chainsaw especially. And I was like, holy fucking shit, what am I watching right now? This is amazing.
Yeah. I couldn't even tell you how young I was. I was probably 4 or 5. Oh, maybe. Like it's a again, this is not like this is not speaking very well of my childhood, but it's like a rite of passage here to watch that movie at a very young age, because you're also going to get told by your dad and uncles and whoever that it happened, that it's real. And you were, no matter what part of Texas you're in, you're going to get told that it happened only about 10 miles from here. Like, that house, like we passed that house every time. So I got told until I found out it didn't happen, which was like maybe when I was like 13.
Was that like Santa Claus not being real?
Very similar to that. So like every time we drove, so we would like drive south to Waco, which was where my like mom's family's from. Every time we would go there, like maybe once or twice a year, there was an old farmhouse that you would pass off the interstate. And they my dad told me and my brother every single time that that's the house where all that happened, which it isn't. I mean,
just to mess with you.
No, it's just a house that it does look a lot like it, to be fair. Like it looks actually exactly like it. Yeah. And Waco's a terrifying city anyway, so it all kind of makes sense. And yeah, I grew up thinking that this really happened, that it happened here in Texas, and that like, these people were still out there somewhere. Like, because we got told that like, Leatherface is real. He's here like somewhere, like every once in a while you'll hear him, like hear a chainsaw in the distance. Like it was like a weird like ghost story for kids. Like, by the time, because whenever I was a kid, it was already been out for like damn near 30 years. So, it already had that reputation. But yeah, I just remember watching it with like every time we went to like a cousin's house or something as a kid, they would always put on Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It's amazing.
It's crazy.
It's funny because for us, Timmy and I both grew up in the Northeast, and so for us to watch a movie like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I'm like, well, that's in Texas. But for you, that's like, I'm in Texas. Shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And every adult is telling you that it happened here, not just in Texas, but like here, and right that here, those people are still around. So like, you're constantly afraid that like.
Anytime you hear a chainsaw, you're like, oh my God.
Cody, I need you to continue that tradition, by the way. Like that's a tradition that just cannot die.
Oh,
future generations, kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews.
Yeah, my niece and nephew have already been inundated in this. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. It's like our Santa Claus. Like our weird redneck ass cannibalistic
confused.
Santa
Claus. So me watching this, I kind of realized early on that this was basically a perfect screenplay. Very simple, like very to the point. But really ultimately, like every piece of information in this movie is very relevant to what happens at the end of this movie, which I really love and appreciate in a movie. Because the first 30 minutes of this is just about like premonitions of bad fate between Pam and Franklin, and Edwin Neal introduction as the hitchhiker, which creepy. And you're like, oh, for me, like, again, I'm coming from this first time view. I'm like, he's probably not going to be Leatherface, but he's probably going to be involved. And then he disappears from the movie just long enough for you to forget the fact that he's in this movie until it turns out that he's Leatherface's brother walking down the street. I was like, he's got to be related to this guy in some place. And then I just forgot that he happened in the movie.
Yeah.
And then he is walking down the road. And then like the old man, the gas station clerk, just there,
the
like
harbinger,
the harbinger, like
Yeah.
it is crazy how much all of these pieces of information go into it from the beginning, which is so eerie and creepy, and just like that opening shot of like explaining, this is what really happened. This is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and the radio overcast, and then just like the old late
And the
60s,
radio
early
saying, like,
70s country mixed in with like radio broadcasts.
Yeah.
Like, so eerie, with like the news, and just like it's all ominous. And Pam going through and talking about like horoscopes, which I'm not a horoscope guy, but it has that premonition, and like thinking about it now, going like, wow, all of that is to set up like who these characters are, because it's kind of an ensemble cast until it's not really. Like none of the characters really get great characterization, I would say.
all the characters except for Sally are dead by like the midway point of the movie.
Yeah. I kind of forgot that. As much as I've seen this, I was like, damn, they do die real early in this movie.
It's like one after another, and then the last third of the movie. I mean, we're used to like slasher movies where it's like the last 10 minutes. It's like, oh, Laurie Strode finds like everyone in the house or something like that. I think it was the last 30 minutes of the movie. But this was like, I think an hour in, Franklin finally gets fucking killed, and I think everyone claps because fuck Franklin. And then we move on. We're gonna talk about the most annoying character. They said that Gunnar Hansen, the guy who played Leatherface, said the actor who played Franklin was so annoying on set that when it came time to kill Franklin, he was so happy because he was like, I just want this guy to be off my fucking set. So it's like the annoyed version of method acting.
He is. It's the most annoying movie character of all time, I think.
Yeah.
Like I've never wanted someone to die more in a movie. Like it's just
what's the one part?
God.
The one part where like he's up where everyone's at like their grandma's house and he's downstairs and everyone else is upstairs partying, and like he's just like shouting. He's like, guys, come on, what's happening? It's like, oh, Franklin, shut the hell up, dude.
I mean, granted, it had to be tough to be in a wheelchair back in the 70s, but at the same time, come on. You ain't gotta be that fucking annoying.
I even like that the moment between him and Sally is their brother and sister. That was my understanding. Is like Sally had to basically bring her brother on this road trip that they were on.
Exactly.
And he's just been driving everybody crazy the whole time. And where they sit there and like outside the van waiting for Kirk and Pam and Jerry to come back, and he's just sitting there being like, you really didn't want me on this trip, did you? And it's like, oh, when you have to say that, you know, because the response you do get back every time you ask that, it's like, no, of course we wanted you here.
Yeah.
Of course we wanted you here. Right? And but yeah, I think what makes, he's a very annoying character, but I think he works so effectively because he's the kind of the only character I feel like with characterization. Like I kind of get the sense that Kirk is the dumber guy, but like Pam doesn't really get that much characterization. Even Sally, like she's barely in the movie for the first 30 minutes, like, which is almost like a red herring. But I loved how this like this movie is almost based on red herrings. Like we get the gas station where it's like, oh, we don't have gas, like, and he gives like the warning. He's like, I wouldn't go knocking around neighbors' doors here. People don't like people showing up on other people's properties. So
in a way, this movie is just like Texas Defense right here, where it's like, don't go in my house.
Except,
yes.
I would argue maybe a step too far. Maybe.
Yeah. Well,
Cody's from Texas.
Not too far. I mean,
not too far. I mean, at the end of the day, every character that dies essentially goes inside the house, and like there's a way you can frame this movie from Leatherface. Just like there's one shot after I think he like sledgehammers the guy with the glasses. I forget his name. The guy with the afro. We sledgehammers him, and then he looks around. He's looking at the windows. He's freaking out like a fucking bug. He's like, "How are all these people getting my house right now?"
I mean, Leatherface isn't necessarily the bad guy in some ways. He's just a dude that wants to be left alone.
He's just like, "Why are people invading my house?"
Like he's not actively pursuing people. He's not like Freddy or Jason. He's or Michael Myers. Like he's just a dude that is just living his life, and these idiot kids, break into his house and try to ruin his day. And he's just like, well, I can't be having this. Like,
it's not until the sequels where he becomes more of just like a typical slasher, where it's just like, oh, he's like going to the house with a chainsaw. Oh my god.
Which, oh god.
I don't think any of the sequels are. Oh, the second one's good. The remakes
with Dennis Hopper. The second one with Dennis Hopper is pretty fun. It's a fun movie.
Yeah. We were talking about last week on the show because we did Blue Velvet last week, and we're like, okay, Timmy, here's how to pitch you about part 2. Dennis Hopper fights Leatherface in a chainsaw duel. That's everything you need to know.
Yep.
A little less realistic, I imagine, in this one than that one. But interesting enough about Hansen, who plays Gunnar Hansen, who plays him.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't even supposed to be Scarface, the guy who originally cast Leatherface.
Yeah.
Okay.
Close.
I do that. I do this all the time, by the way. So if I say the wrong thing, you know exactly what I mean. I just say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But another actor, the predecessor, got last minute jitters about karma and his soul. It was the 70s after all, and Gunnar Hansen was like, I viewed Leatherface as somebody who was mentally challenged and created the character by spending time at a school with developmentally disabled children where his mother worked, and just like studied how they like bent their heads, the erratic motions they would make. Like that's what he did. That's what he studied. And that definitely kind of like comes through here. And one of the things that I like genuinely loved was like I kind of figured the brother was connected to the to Leatherface because he was so creepy at the beginning, and it turns out he's the grave digger that everybody's talking about. Did not expect the gas station guy.
That comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like great twist. There with him being the patriarch of the family, and then the grandfather is actually alive, even though he just looks straight up like a corpse.
He's just like a corpse, just like barely any energy.
Oh yeah, he looked like a Prince Philip, like towards the end.
Exactly. Just wheeling out. Come on, Grandpa. Come on, Philip.
Yeah. He looks like Jimmy Carter in hospice right now.
Jeez.
Oh yes, seriously.
Or I don't know if you remember, there was an Academy Awards like some years back where they wheeled out Kirk Douglas, and he just went on there and mumbled for 15 minutes.
Oh yeah,
it was so awkward. It was like everyone's just like, what is he talking about?
Because he was doing Best Actress, and like Melissa Leo came out and was just like, holy shit, like what do I do?
I gotta save this.
Yeah.
How do I save this?
Yeah, that's interesting that he based it on like mentally challenged kids. So that means somewhere there's like a 60-year-old who is the basis for Leatherface.
Just like the
I'm doing the dance or whatever.
And
there's a video on Twitter right now going around of someone like edited out Leatherface in the end of the scene where he's like swimming around the chainsaw, and they made it to like a 1990s club rave scene.
That's amazing.
And it works amazingly. So one of the things I want to touch upon Hansen, that he like went like a little method where like there's a low budget on set, obviously you could feel it, but in a good way. And then there's only one shirt to wear Leatherface, and there's all these dyes on it. So Gunner's like, I don't want to wash this like shirt. So he wore it for 4 straight weeks of filming in the hot and humid Texas summer. And by the end of the shoot, no one wanted to stand near him or next to him during breaks to eat lunch or anything because his clothes smelled so bad. It's probably just reeked of shit.
Well, and they had real animal carcasses in the house.
Yeah.
Like those aren't fake bones and fake animals. Like, so that house basically just smelled like a slaughterhouse. That they said like the temperatures would get over 120 degrees in that house, which is
and the casting crew would have to run out of the house just to breathe oxygen.
So the guy, the hitchhiker, he was in Vietnam, and he said that filming that movie was worse than being in Vietnam.
He's like, if I see Tobe Hooper again, I'm gonna kill him.
God, yeah. I mean, it's got to be the most miserable movie shoot of all time.
They said in the final scene, and you can feel that like everyone like just being insane. Gunnar Hansen and like other guys were like, yeah, we weren't acting there. We were just actually legitimately going insane. They're filming for 27 straight hours. And like some of them got like some like sickness and like ill. And at the end, they were just like didn't know what reality was. Because at that point, it's like torture almost.
People could handle heat better back then. Because if I was in that house for 30 minutes, I'd be driving my head through a wall.
Yeah, I'd be like, all right, I don't need to be in this movie. Like, fuck it. Like,
yeah. Good luck with those.
I think it was just before air conditioning was readily available. Like every place you walk into now has air conditioning.
Yeah.
And they didn't know how good it could get.
Well, they were saying in London, like with these like heat surges, and then we see it over here in America, and it's like 78 degrees. And then I read something, I was like, you got to realize these are like stone structures that were built in like 1100 that were meant to like face like 70-degree Fahrenheit, like maximum. So these people are having like heat strokes in there because the way it's confining the heat is so hot that they actually their bodies can't handle it. But my
it's
body
insane.
could not handle that kind of heat.
I'd run out. Gunnar said at one point he genuinely wanted to kill Marilyn Burns for a few seconds after he was ordered to by his brother. He said on the DVD commentary, which one thing to admit. Yeah, I almost killed this actress. What the hell?
Yeah, it was the 70s. It's fine.
Dude, I mean, the worst things have happened on movie sets. Yeah. I mean, Vic Morrow got his head cut off. I mean, there's been some worse things. Well, actually,
Alec
Vic Morrow
Baldwin.
and 2 little kids, but yeah. Alec Baldwin did target practice on a whole crew. But yeah, there's I mean, the more I read about Gunnar Hansen, the more I'm like, I think he might have been a fucking insane person.
Yeah, you kind of have to be. I mean, he said that he could not see it in the mask, in the Leatherface mask, and he said there's one take where he's like carrying one of like the girls, and he knocked himself out cold after hitting the door frame,
which is hilarious.
Yeah. You need to see the outtakes.
I wish that bloopers. You know how like Rush Hour at the end they have like the bloopers going in the credits. Like they need that for Texas Chainsaw Massacre or for horror movies in general.
Like, I'm just like the guy playing Ghostface just eating shit and like falling down the stairs. It's like, oh!
Yes. Yeah. Like,
my favorite tidbit during the torture dinner scene, which is just so creepy. And I loved how Hooper it was just emphasized by close-ups of Marilyn Burns' face, just like her eyes and her eyelids. And it's just like you could just feel the psychological torture that she's facing. Like he just conveys that so well there using basic close-ups. But when they're going to give the grandfather the blood, the knife was supposed to be rigged with a blood container on it. The blood container wouldn't pop. So finally, the guy who played the hitchhiker just cut her finger and fed it to the guy in the grandfather costume, and they found out years later that happened. And let's just say Marilyn Burns was not thrilled about that outcome. She would have preferred not to do that.
There's some parts of the movie like she got burnt, like she actually like cut herself because she like was like cutting through like the when she's running through like the forest or whatever or the woods, like getting chased by Leatherface. She actually cut herself in the branches really badly. So like a lot of the blood is just straight up her blood.
Well, and then Gunnar Hansen, whenever he falls and cuts his leg with the chainsaw, he has like a metal plate on top of his leg, and then there's like fake meat above that plate so that the chainsaw will cut the meat but not cut his leg. Well, they didn't really take into account that the friction on that plate would heat it up to like 200 degrees. And so he basically gave himself like 2nd-degree burns all over his thigh from that plate.
He said on set that he kept on asking like Tobe throughout the shoot, being like, okay, so how are we gonna pull it off? How are we gonna pull it off? He's like, don't worry, we'll get to it. And then he's like, oh, he means if we die, if I die, the movie's in the can.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Expendable at that point.
Well,
yeah.
Well, Jim Saito plays the father figure, the gas station clerk. Which also weird when he's like, I got barbecue for you fellas. He was not giving them pork. He was he was feeding them something else. But he was saying he was having trouble, during the scene where he's beating her with the broom. He's having trouble like getting into that. And then Tobe Hooper was just like, hit her harder. So and Marilyn Burns was just like, it's fine, just hit me. And he just started wailing on her, just started beating her.
Jesus. Like there's no OSHA like on these film sets. Like there is no checks and I mean, you were just whatever Tobe Hooper is telling you to do, like
you do it.
I mean, there's no HR department. Like
these entitled actors today. My God.
Yeah, that's like this is the power of not having unions. This is why they have unions in place.
Yes. Oh, I mean, movie sets used to be wild.
Well, Friedkin was a notorious for just abusing the shit out of.
Well, William Friedkin also on the set of The Exorcist was walking around with a loaded shotgun and shooting it into the ceilings to scare people so that he could film their reaction.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, very normal reaction.
It's what you do on a film set.
No, William Friedkin was a absolute lunatic. I mean, yeah, there's a million stories about that dude. Like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so something about this movie that like I think we've seen this type of like screenplay. This movie's been ripped off so much. I think even more so than like Halloween was to an extent, which is just in a way a variation on this. Where like yeah, we always see like the remake of like or the movie of like oh the teens go to the gas station. There's a creepy guy there, and then oh my god, the killer's at the house or something. But this pulls it off in a way that like doesn't feel stale and cliche like at all.
It's just natural. They're just kids who needed
Mm.
gas to get home,
Mm.
and they ran to a creek, and there was no water there. And then they just hear a generator. They're like, "Oh, I'll throw this guy a couple bucks. I'll give him my guitar, then we'll come
Yeah.
back with some more money and do it."
Mm.
And I would think when you walk in and you just see skeletons everywhere, for me, that would be my immediate like time to leave. I
Well, they
don't think I need
do, but
gas.
I mean, they try, but then I mean, he
Well,
just gets them like at the last.
Uh,
Like that's the thing
well, he
about it
walked
is
too
that
far in. He walked too far in.
well,
the
right,
first
yeah,
guy,
yeah, definitely walked too far.
I,
Yeah,
mm.
yeah. But that's part of it is that like they don't do anything that's just outright stupid. Like a lot of slasher movies where they have the moment where you're just like, you idiot. There's not like a lot of those types of moments. It's more just
I
like this
agree.
is what would happen to this could happen to someone. Like obviously you'd have to have a cannibal family and everything, but like, as
You don't
far
know
as
my
for the
neighbors.
well, yeah, or
Yeah.
mine either.
I mean,
Yeah,
this is believable though. Like they
it's
said
very
this movie,
believable.
this is based on a true story, which ends up being just
Well,
be about Ed Gein. And
yeah,
apparently, you just do that in movies. You can just say, "Yeah, this is based on a true story," and like, who's
yeah,
gonna question you?
yeah.
Especially
Well,
back then.
it's not a law. Like it's like you're not
Yeah,
bound by law. I mean, you could make any movie and say it's based on a true story, and it
yeah.
means nothing. You have complete creative license because it's Ed Gein's the guy that like Psycho's based on. I mean, he's
Mm,
a million movies are based on Ed Gein. Like it's
mm,
yeah. I remember finding that out and I was crushed. I was
mm.
like, what? It was a just one guy in like Illinois. It's like this
He
is
like made a
what a
lamp of like some people. Like, oh, come on, this is nothing compared to
well.
Texas Chainsaw.
Well, he did make a nipple belt, which I will say nipple belt is the craziest combination of words I have ever read in my
Jesus,
life.
How does
but
that
isn't he
work?
like a? He's like a grave robber, and like he just
Yeah.
basically sews all together all the shit.
Well, he killed, I think, two people that they know of, but
Yeah.
most likely killed a
Kind of
few
light
more.
for serial killers when you think about it.
He's not really a serial, which is the crazy
Yeah.
thing is that Ed Gein was not really necessarily a serial killer. He killed two people, which doesn't really put you in that group. But
Mm.
He's
with
like
the
the
amount
first
of like,
profile, right? He
well,
was the
yeah,
first like the profile serial killer, quote
well,
unquote.
and it's because he had so much like dead body stuff in his house
Mm.
that they just assumed he must have killed hundreds of people. But then it turns out later, like they found out later that he'd just been robbing graves, which
Mm.
obviously not, a great thing to do, but he didn't kill any other people. Like, so
Gotta-
yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
He's
pay rent
desecrating the
somehow.
graves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like there's also like this around the time there was like a serial killer in Austin around the time who like would like lure kids into like his like garage. I forget his name off the top of my head.
So there was, well, okay, so interesting story.
Yeah.
So there was a serial killer in Austin around that time too, a fellow named Kenneth Allen McDuff, who my granddad grew up with and was like very close or decently close friends with. I mean, they grew up in a city with like 30 people in it.
Yeah.
So he grew up with this, and this dude ended up killing a few people in like Fort Worth and everything. And then he went to prison. They let him out and he killed a bunch of people in Austin. But yeah, Austin has had a lot of serial killers, actually. There's one right now, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The serial killer
Not here.
capital.
I did not hear about that.
Yeah, there's somebody drowning people in the river that goes like right under Austin. Like it's been doing it for like a couple of years now. And nobody, I mean, whatever, people just don't give a shit, I guess. But
We're just
I'm shocked
just
it's
past
not-
the point. I've seen enough episodes of Mindhunter. I'm good. I get it.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Criminal Minds.
Yeah. Texas, it's just a different breed of people, especially once you get to like the Austin area. Because that's where it was filmed. Like that house is filmed in Round Rock, which is like the city right above Austin. And then I think they moved the house to like Kingsland, which is like on the other side of Austin.
I know nowadays they made like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house into like a restaurant or
the
something.
gas station, I think.
Yeah, the gas station.
The
maybe.
gas station is in Bastrop, which is actually like somewhat close to where I'm at. And yeah, and you can go there and it's like, I mean, it's very like gimmicky kind of.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah,
Kitschy,
it's
like,
dumb
oh,
as
we were in
shit.
Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah. But Yeah, still fucking weird.
All
I
the
mean,
food,
Yeah.
all the food menus are named off of like characters' body parts. Like it's like it's one of those
That'd be
places.
amazing. I would love that.
yeah, ear soup. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I want to talk about how amazing the cinematography was of this movie. We didn't really touch upon this. There's so many shots that are just incredible. I mean, the one that always gets referenced is the one of Pam's ass when she's walking up to the steps of the door.
Amen.
Yeah, I mean, just
Yeah.
because like in general, it just feels like such menacing in just that one shot where like she's like walking into the house, being like, "Where's my?" I forget the guy who died in that moment. But her boyfriend be like, "Where is he?" And you
Yeah.
just see that, and then you just see the
Kirk.
interior of the house. Yeah,
Kirk.
and
Yeah.
even Kirk's intro into like basically he opens up the door and the set design, it feels like he's like walking into hell. That's the way you feel.
Yes. Yeah. And it's the sound engineering. The sound is so like that's the creepiest part of the movie is the sound. Like the sound of that sledgehammer hitting him in the head is so
and he's like
real
spazzing.
sounding. And yes, that is a big thing that they never do in horror movies. Like they always, or movies in general, where like if you hit someone in the head like that, their body basically goes into convulsion. Like, you know, I mean, not everybody, of course, everybody's different, but like there's something so unsettlingly real about the sound of the sledgehammer, not making that, you know, Indiana Jones punch sound. Like it sounds like a hammer hitting someone's fucking skull. And then his body shaking is just
terrifying.
God.
Yeah.
It's so like there's actually not a lot of blood in the movie. Like if you go back and watch, it's way less blood than you would imagine than most people would think, or that most people remember. But it's just so
It's
like
unsettling.
those little things.
It's
like
what it implies though. It's just like that, like, you know, you hear the movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you're expecting what like some of the later day sequels are of like, oh, like just like you see limbs getting cut off limb from limb and everything like that.
Exactly.
And other than Franklin's death, there's no real blood, and like, you know, even like, but it's still terrifying because like you're seeing a person go on a meat hook. But I think it's worse that it doesn't show you the blood and the appendage like breaking up. Like,
Yeah,
they're not going gonzo special effects.
And I have to give this cast a lot of credit here as an ensemble cast. They kill it. I imagine the heat just really helps resonate and making these people actually going insane.
Yeah.
But like it's very interesting looking at this cast for like a movie that's very iconic. And like none of them really did anything. Like they're in some other horror movies, but none of them like this is easily the biggest work in all of their careers.
Yeah.
And even I mean, Toby Hooper basically didn't do anything after this. I mean,
Poltergeist. That's the whole thing. I know there's the whole like controversy of did he direct it?
I mean, I don't think he directed a fucking second of that movie. I think maybe a little bit, but Spielberg was pretty well known for like basically taking over a movie just to help a director out. Same thing he did with like the Goonies and Richard Donner. Like Richard Donner didn't have shit to do with the Goonies. Like, yeah, I don't think Spielberg. I mean, I don't think Toby Hooper did hardly anything on Poltergeist.
I think there's definitely some inspiration right there. I think that sometimes it gets a little overblown, but I mean, he did Salem's Lot. I mean, that's true. Iconic. Yeah, I heard the new Salem's Lot is awful. The one that just came out.
Man, I'm so bummed about that because I was really looking forward to it. I love Salem's Lot is my favorite Stephen King book. Pretty much, besides It, which is like everybody's answer, but like take that away, Salem's Lot I think is incredible, and I like the original, like the series or the the TV mini series, whatever, with David Soul. I heard this one was complete dog shit, which
it's like God, it's always so up or down with Stephen King adaptations. You don't know where you're gonna get.
Yes, it all depends on the director because some directors nail it, and they like Rob Reiner has done it by, and Frank
he's
Darabont.
Just connected.
Like Rob Reiner with like Misery and Stand By Me, and then Frank Darabont with Shawshank and Green Mile, and then of course like Kubrick with The Shining, but Kubrick basically just made it. I mean that
he just did nothing to do with Stephen King. He just did his own little thing.
And then like the Machetes, I think that's their name. How do you say it? The ones that did the It remake.
Oh yeah.
They
I like
Andy
the remake.
Amazing. I think part one is incredible. I think part two kind of not great.
Well, I think that's the problem with the book too, right? Like
the second
Stephen King was on a whole lot of cocaine when he wrote It, and
I didn't read it. I listened to audiobook because that's how I am. But the audiobook was like something like 55 hours.
Yeah. It's I read the book I read the book whenever I was a kid, and then I reread it a couple of years ago. And anything involving the adults is pretty boring.
Yeah,
It's
that's where it's
I
like,
mean, kids in
get on
danger
with
is a million times scarier.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah.
Adults reconnecting with the terror 30 years later.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's just not scary. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's going to be a problem there. But one other tidbit I wanted to put here, which I thought was very interesting. So apparently Hooper, when he was at the University of Texas at Austin in August 1966, Charles Whitman committed one of the worst mass murders, killing 14 people and wounding 31 others in a 96-minute shooting spree. And
Oh,
he
fuck.
witnessed some of the carnage before rushing to hide from the carnage. As he walked through the campus and heard the gunfire, a cop ran up to him and shouted, "Get in the building." So he was just standing there, like petrified. And the idea came to him during the 1972 holiday season. He was at a hardware section at some department store and he saw a bunch of chainsaws standing upright in a display, and he's fantasized about slicing and dicing his way through the consumer swarm. So everything about this is just like cursed from the get-go.
Yeah.
But it works.
Yeah.
Like if you have not seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there is just this like believability and realism. And I think like when I think of this horror movies that came out around this era, obviously I think of The Exorcist, that's 1973. Right there. And the horror of that movie is just like the realism in there. And this one it's like a different kind of realism, but it's just like the grit, and then just having these absolute lunatics. Like I feel like a lot of contemporary like horror movies like today try to make like lunatics out, but they don't make them like they did in this. Like in this one, it's just this like believably deranged, like just deranged from isolation, nothing to do, and just like oh, I killed one person one time, and it was just fun. And I love that it's just kind of left unanswered. Like where did this cycle of mass murder start?
I like how basically the killers are just like people are just like disenfranchised, just left behind by America. Where like the hitchhiker talking about how the old way of killing these.
Down.
Yeah, the old slaughterhouse, the way of sledgehammer, that was a lot better than the gun. The gun gets people like out of jobs. He goes on the whole tangent thing, which at a certain point, tangent. But how quickly would you just kick out the hitchhiker? It'd be like, why do you keep? Yeah,
never picking him up in the first place.
Well,
I know it was the 70s and people just did that for some reason, but
the red going down his face,
the birthmark, yeah,
is the immediate like I know something happened to you, but your legs are working. And you'll get there, man. I believe in you.
Yes.
I love that immediately one of them like says like, don't pick him up, he's creepy. And like, this guy's still like, oh, I'm gonna go do it. Apparently Edwin Neal, the guy who played the hitchhiker, Texas state troopers shook his hand and thanked him because he caused crime to drop down by 18% because a lot of people took away from the message of the movie. Don't pick up hitchhikers.
That's amazing.
That's a message. That's a message.
It's a great PSA.
If you have a big car, always if you get to the quarter tank of gas line, fill it up. Do not wander into an area with not a lot of gas stations around. And 3, don't stay at your abandoned grandparents' house and then wander around outside. Those are the 3 main takeaways of this movie.
Yeah. And John Larroquette is an amazing narrator.
Great
takeaway.
He had the biggest take. I didn't realize that, and then I saw it. I was like, he is the narrator? Like, that guy had the biggest career of anybody in this movie by far.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
100%. And you know he got paid for this movie?
Yep.
A meal from McDonald's?
No, he got a joint. He got paid in a joint.
Oh, yeah.
Most of the actors in the crew, they got paid in beer. That's how they paid a lot of them.
Can you imagine? Like, that's not going to be a t-shirt. I worked on the set of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and all I got was this t-shirt and a beer.
Dude.
I do wonder, because when I did my research on it, I wonder if they did realize upon reflection that they actually were making something special, or if the conditions were just so horrible that it never, like, even crossed their mind, potentially.
I don't think they did.
No.
I think they just thought they were making I think they probably thought they were making a really shitty horror movie. Like, I mean, it had no budget. In some ways, it is really cheesy, even for, early 70s standards. Like you know, I could see how you'd be on the set and you're like, this is gonna be a fucking disaster. No one is gonna see this movie.
There's easily a version of this movie or even a version of the movie that was released that like could have just been like forgotten and just been like some random exploitation that like Tarantino would occasionally mention, like one of his like many monologues.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, overall though, it's just so much better than just like your average like exploitation flick.
Well, I mean, kind of going back to what you're saying about how like uh, these characters, like in the movie, like or these horror movies back then, like The Exorcist and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, were so much grittier than they are now. But it's also because just movies were grittier back then.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
I mean, if you watch like The French Connection or Chinatown, like all those movies they're gritty as hell. Like, and those aren't China movies.
I would argue Chinatown's beautiful and like polished in a way that I wouldn't put the grit on the same level as gritty there.
Well, no, but I mean not necessarily in that way, but gritty in the sense that like it's not a like this massive
Big
I don't
production.
know. Yeah. I mean, it still feels very like early 70s, like gritty. The same with like Bonnie and Clyde, even though that's like 67. But like they just have that thing of like where the characters are gritty. Like not necessarily the movie looks gritty. It's like the writing is gritty, the characters are gritty. Like it's everybody's a little like sleazy in a way. Like they just don't do that with movies now. Like movies aren't gritty like that.
There's a reason why like this movie, I mean, like why the sequels have never been able to like match this aesthetic. Because like in a way, while 2 decides to go the opposite way of like we're just gonna make like a gonzo horror comedy and it's great for that. Whenever they try and do like when they go to 2003 for the remake or like the other ones like the Netflix one that came out recently, it all feels too polished. It all feels like you're like a Nirvana music video or like in a grunge music video aesthetic. And it's just
you
like
could never have a film condition like this from a major studio. Like
I mean, maybe it's a good thing that this movie can't be replicated, but still, it's just like it doesn't feel the same when it's just like this is a $15 million budget movie produced by Michael Bay.
Right.
I agree with you. That definitely makes sense there. This is definitely a movie, lightning in a bottle, something you just can't replicate.
I am a star. I'm a star, I'm a star, I'm a star. I am a big, bright, shining star.
All right, guys. Who's the star of this movie? It's a bit of an ensemble cast, but I do think there's a couple of performances worth noting here. I think Marilyn Burns, Edwin Neal, Jim Sadow, and Gunnar Hansen are like the 4 primary characters or people that actually get stuff to do. Paul A. Parshin as Franklin also gets stuff to do, but I think we've already discussed we do not like Franklin. We can leave Franklin behind in the wheelchair.
Fuck Franklin.
Yeah, exactly. We're a fuck Franklin podcast.
Yeah.
So if I had to go with a star, I mean, I think that the hitchhiker, I mean, the way that he just immediately sells the menace of this movie, and he immediately drops you into like the seedy underbelly of this, where it's always when you watch these horror movies, like this could have easily just been like the star of like some like nice, like fun, like Richard Linklater like road trip movie or something, and then the second the hitchhiker comes in, this is not going to be what you thought it was. And if he is not scary, if he's like cliche, I mean, there's been versions of this movie where like that type of character is just like, why would you ever like do that? And in this case, like he's just great. He's just really fun and messy, especially in the late end of the movie. We see him to come up again. You're like, oh my god! Wait,
also, his death is brutal.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yes. My god. Yeah, you can tell how like this movie basically is what Rob Zombie became.
Rob Zombie saw this as like,
this is Rob Zombie's favorite movie of all time.
Sure. No, it is.
100%.
I mean, he's multiple times, but like you can tell that dude has just ripped this movie.
You can imagine this movie like right out of the womb, like immediately watching fucking Texas Chainsaw just on his house. And it's like, oh god.
Tiger Woods watched his dad hit golf shots as a kid to become the best golfer. Rob Zombie just watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on loop as a kid.
It's funny that like the franchise he remade Halloween, whereas like that did not work. I hated that remake.
Horrible.
And
not his aesthetic either.
Exactly. If he made a Texas Chainsaw remake, I would be for that. It'd be like, all right, but it'd probably be like the
he
cliche
did.
thing.
He made House of a Thousand Corpses.
He made his own
Devil's
version.
Reject.
Yeah.
I mean, that basically is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not too far off. But Star, I mean, is definitely the safe answer. But fuck it, Marilyn Burns, without a doubt.
I'm in agreement with you.
Yeah.
The last shot of her
is incredible.
She is amazing, and it's like the first of like the final girls, which that became a horror movie trope. With like, I mean, it became more. I mean, Halloween did it afterwards, and Jamie Lee Curtis is usually considered the first of like the final girls, and then like Heather Langenkamp from Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, there's a few of them, but Marilyn Burns is kind of like the first one, and I mean, she is so good in this movie.
Oh,
like the acting isn't. I mean, it's good, but it's not.
It's
serviceable.
It's
not The Godfather.
It's good horror acting. Like,
exactly.
I need to be conveyed in the terror of it. Like when they're
I need to be
scared,
convinced of her screaming, "Run away!" and like you are convinced of her screaming away. And
it feels so real
when you get to the dinner party scene of just her, just like like over and over again. I mean, I saw this in a theater last week, and that was just like hearing that in surround sound. I was like, oh my god! It just really sells you on the madness that's going on.
She's, I think, I mean, I guess you could make the argument for like Gunnar Hansen because he's Leatherface, but that could have been damn near anybody. I mean, it is, he does do it like you were talking about, like portraying it in this like kind of childlike way, which is like very unsettling. And instead of it just being like a Michael Myers, like
it's a very physical performance.
Right. A very good one. Yeah. But, Marilyn Burns, 100%.
Yeah, I would agree with you here. Like the audience needs to have that person to connect with all this insanity going on, and she just leads yourself to your empathy as a human being watching it as well. And then that look of relief. I mean, that was the only thing I knew about this movie was the final shot, like, and just how iconic that final shot is. So it kind of sucked knowing that. Like, I almost wish I just didn't know that, because it would have hit. Well, it still hit really good.
Really I do also want to shout out real quick, the best tagline ever, and I think that's also a star of this movie: "Who will survive and what will be left of them?" I mean, this poster right here is just like incredible.
Dude, so my cousin, so like growing up, like a cousin that I, quite a bit older than me, but like kind of looked at him as like a, influence for like movies and music stuff. He had that poster in his room, and I remember I would just stare at that poster and like read that tagline to myself and just be like, God, that is such a dark, creepy line. Like, that's the greatest. It's like Alien. Alien is like, in space, no one can hear you scream. It's kind of like the same thing, but way creepier. Like, it's a perfect.
It's from a poster that I have like framed right here in my like horror wall. You can kind of see in the back, but it's just an incredible poster, it's an incredible tagline, and I think like the iconic legacy of that is just like how awesome. It's like, all these slasher sequels knocked out of the park with their first poster. Like Halloween, great poster too.
It is.
Yeah, and when I have my home theater, when I own a home and I have a basement with it, this poster will be going up on the wall because I love the movie and the poster rocks. It'll be going right next to my Nashville movie poster. So next segment is Muppets, and I have a thought. I'm just kind of curious here. I have a crazy thought.
Are you ready, comedy partner? Waka waka. Okay.
So, fellas, would the Texas Chainsaw Massacre work as a Muppet adaptation? And I know what you're saying. It's a no. Like, we can all agree. No. But Rolf as Leatherface, I just can't. I had it pictured in my head, and I can't stop picturing it. I don't know why it's him, why it's the dog that plays the piano, but I see the vision. Do you guys like? Are you guys with me? Do you like?
So instead of becoming Leatherface, he's Felt Face.
Yes,
like, that's it. Yeah, and instead of like his mask being like mask of like human skin, it's mask of like other Muppets. So you see like
Kermit.
Green Felt, you see like Kermit Felt, you see like Miss Piggy Felt, you see Fozzie and like Gonzo all right there on his
Gonzo's
face.
note,
and instead of like bones and stuff throughout the house, it's just like strings and like broken marionettes everywhere.
Stuffing. That's what I was gonna say.
Stuffing
everywhere.
Like, the vision is here, fellas. Like,
I'm with you, dude. I say,
well,
make
the
it.
Swedish chef is the gas station guy, obviously.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then you just leave the kids alone. Like the kids are still the kids, like they're humans, and it's just like, when did we end up in Muppetville? Okay.
Or the kids are Dr. Teeth in the Electric Man.
Well, I was thinking who Franklin, Miss Piggy, maybe.
No,
Maybe you just gender reverse it, for 2024.
I feel like Gonzo. I don't know why I'm picturing him. I know he's the Daredevil.
I can see Gonzo being a little bitch like that.
I just picture him being a little bit of a bitch. Maybe Fozzie's probably the more realistic answer there. Of like who would actually drive. Beaker would be good.
Well, see, I think Beaker is the hitchhiker.
I could
just
see
a little spastic. Yeah.
I could fit it right there.
You know
I can see him going underneath a truck too.
I also
who would be Leatherface? That's the big thing.
I said Rolf.
Oh, Rolf. Yeah,
Rolf.
You're right. Rolf.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, Tommy. Really makes me feel good.
God.
But all right, review time, fellas. Give me your score out of 5. Cody, let's kick this off to you.
I go. Man, it is hard not to give it a 5. But I mean, it can't be a 5. I'm gonna go 4 out of 5. Yeah, man, that's tough. I've been thinking about this all damn day, like, and I still can't give like a really. Can I do half stars?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do have
4.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really, I thought we were getting what is a 5 for you then?
Well, see, okay, there's the problem is that I can't give you an answer as to what I would change to make it a 5. So then how is it not a 5? 5.
Yeah.
Give it it's a 5. Right. It's a 5. I can't change something to make it better. So how would I, could I, what room to improve? Because to me, like The Exorcist and The Omen and The Shining are like the top, those are 5s for horror.
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is right there with it.
Okay, I'm going to cut Tommy off here and I'm going to spoil it. I'm going to give this a 5. I was sitting there the first half like, this is a 4. This is a 4. Yeah. And then I'm sitting there the second half just like glued and just seeing how everything that was built up in that first half an hour just pays off there at the end. And it was just so unsettling and so creepy. 5 out of 5 for me.
All right. Well, Tim, first of all, I have to ask you, did you watch this movie with your girlfriend like you tried to do with Showgirls?
No, I didn't. But I'm going to make her watch it.
Yeah, it's a great movie. All right, so spoiler, I fucking love this movie. I mean, I have an action figure of Leatherface. I have the poster framed. I have a coaster of this fucking movie. I mean, I can watch this movie all the time. It's amazing. 5 out of 5, just so unsettling. Great set design, great cinematography. Like Cody said, I can't think of a thing that changed about this movie. So,
wait, Tommy, do you know what this means?
Oh,
you know
we haven't.
I think this is the first of the year.
Pour myself a cognac, and I watch. The 14 Fists of McCluskey. What a picture. What a picture.
Good picture.
I had to give it to this award. I feel like I talked Cody into giving it a 5 because I was like, you're from Texas. How are you going to give it the lowest out of all of us?
It's just hard for me to give a movie a 5 because then
I'm the same way. I do not. I'm
the one that gives them out liberally. I'm like, oh, fuck it. Like 5.
Yeah. Like to me, because a 5 is perfection. It's like, damn it. Like, how can a movie be perfect? But it is. It's perfect. Like, I mean, Franklin sucks, but he's supposed to suck. Like,
exactly.
You can't like every character. Like, you got to have a character that you're just like, God damn, when is this son of a bitch going to die?
And Franklin's so interesting because he's so annoying, but he's right the whole time. He's like, I'm getting a really uneasy feeling about this, guys. And they're all like,
oh, shut up, Franklin.
Shut up, Franklin. You don't have a girlfriend. We don't listen to you.
Everybody knows what it's like to be like the third wheel, fifth wheel, or whatever. So like you kind of feel for Franklin. I'm usually Franklin, which is maybe why I hate him so much. It's like I see myself in Franklin.
You'd be better than our Franklin. Well, yeah, this all happened because Mercury is in retrograde. So
look at your horoscopes, folks. Look at your horoscopes. But Cody, thank you so much for coming on. This was a lot of fun, man. The Cody Tucker Show, you can find it on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. Anything else you want to plug here? Any upcoming things that you're doing?
No, I mean, just check out the Instagram is the Cody Tucker. That's where I post like mostly the reels. I mean, I post like all the reels and shit on YouTube too. So really just YouTube and Instagram probably the best way to follow. And I just kind of doing the same old shit. Yeah.
Awesome, dude. And Tommy, any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Yeah, so like we said, what a picture. But anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. You can follow us on social media. That's at Seen It Pod. That's on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Thread. And also leave us a 5-star review. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. It helps us out, helps us grow the show. And yeah, next week we're going to go back to Bela Lugosi, covering Dracula. We've both never seen it, right, Timmy?
1931 Dracula. Nope. Not in the repertoire. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Man. Yeah, it's a great one.
I'm excited. I'm excited for it. But thank you all so much for listening. Cody, thank you so much for coming on, and we will see you next time.